Hey guys, Joe DeMarco from the Crazy New York Driver Show. Today is Friday, April 21st, 2017, and guess what? It's raining out, just like always. It has rained almost every single day this week. It is pathetic. And the more observant of you will notice that I'm wearing a heavy winter coat. The temperature is about 45 degrees. And they're saying it's going to be cloudy and rainy at least until next Tuesday. Part of living on the East Coast, worst weather in the United States. And I know you guys out there in California are laughing at me right now. This is all we ever get. But welcome to another eBay video. In today's video we're going to discuss some new Hall of Shame entries I've got for you guys. We're going to discuss your comments from last week's video, a disturbing trend about China sellers, and a few other eBay goodies I think you will find interesting. One thing I've been meaning to tell you guys over the last couple of weeks, and it keeps slipping my mind, next month, May, I will celebrate 10 years on YouTube making eBay videos. 10 full years. This is huge and it's epic. I am thinking about doing a 10-year retrospective, having a little party atmosphere on my video. This would be a special video in addition to my normal Friday video. If I get time, I might just do that. I'm wondering what you guys would think about me doing a 10-year retrospective video discussing all the things that have gone on, the good things, the not so good things. I think it would be very, very interesting. All right? But I want to know what you guys think. I read your comments from last week's video. I picked out a few that are up for discussion today that I think are worth talking about. Regarding the restocking fees, I've selected two comments. First, Mighty Buffoon said, I just called eBay and the representative said that if a buyer gives a seller negative feedback because the buyer is unhappy with having to pay a restocking fee, all the seller has to do is call them and the eBay representative will have the negative feedback removed. However, Skinny Cow responded with this comment. Regarding the restocking fee, negative comment you showed in your video, my understanding is this. If the buyer says they just don't want the item anymore or ordered the wrong item, and then any neg comment for a restocking fee will be removed. If the buyer claims the item is being returned because of the fault of the seller, for example, wrong size, not fit for the purpose, then the negative comment will stay on the feedback. So if the buyer essentially claims it's their fault, the item is being returned, a restocking fee negative comment will be removed. But if the buyer claims it's the seller's fault, the item is being returned, a negative comment can stay, and I think also if the buyer appeals the restocking fee to eBay or PayPal, the buyer will win. So a shady buyer who knows the ropes can open a return case simply by saying wrong size or not as described case. Then yes, the restocking option isn't going to hold up for the comment mentioned wrong size. So eBay will see this as a seller's fault. Thus, a neg can remain assuming the buyer has claimed all along that the item was the wrong size in the original return dispute. Now, my problem is with what he's talking about, and I hope it's not entirely true. Most of my returns, 99% of my returns are wrong size. Not because I did anything wrong, but because the buyer didn't read the listing. You guys know I get approximately 3 returns per week. Guaranteed. I've already gotten my 3 this week, and Friday hasn't even come yet, Friday night. Tonight's the night that I'm going to usually get them. My worry is this. If I list an item, let's say it fits a 15-inch wheel, and the buyer has a 14-inch wheel, they've always returned it, and it's never hurt me. So are you saying that if I charge a restocking fee, and a buyer leaves me a negative saying, it was the wrong size and I had to pay a restocking fee, that's not going to be taken off? That's what concerns me. And quite frankly, guys, I do not have an answer for you yet in black and white. This is something I am still pursuing, and it's something that you should keep in mind, okay? If anybody has any clarification on that, I'd like to know more about that, because most of my returns are for wrong size doesn't fit, and that's no fault of mine. I list everything very clearly on all my listings, but people don't read, and you know that. Regarding the China sellers, I have 2 comments I'd like to read to you. 2 Know For Sure said, when I do an eBay search for women's vintage jewelry, priced low to high, I have to wade through pages and pages of brand new China junk that shows up by the hundreds before anything I'm looking for shows up. Doesn't eBay realize that this discourages and turns away potential buyers? Excellent comment. Excellent. I have the same problem with eBay Motors, and rather than discuss this right now, I'm going to wait till we segue into the Hall of Shame, because I have something to show you about that. D. Kelly responded, you can refine your search to US sellers only, completely bypassing the China stuff, or just refine the search to used items. The problem with refining the search to US sellers only does not alleviate the problem in eBay Motors. D. Kelly, you should know that, because we have people in the United States that are buying containers of the cheap Shiner garbage and selling it out of their US location. Therefore, you're still seeing all this China crap showing up. And again, wait till we move over to the Hall of Shame and I'll explain that more to you guys. Here's a good one regarding the eBay mobile app. eBay Guru wrote, Joe, read this. The reason we're all getting more returns or canceled orders is simple. Over 60% of purchases are done on the eBay app, phone, or tablet. Fact, from eBay UK, now the problem with this stupid app is that it does not show the description detail by default. All you get is photos, price, location, but the description is not easy to find, and you'll have to scroll down and then tap the word description for you to read the whole listing. Utter bollocks. So that is why returns and cancellations are on the up, because of this flaw in the eBay app. Try it. You'll see. Try it. You'll see. Look to buy something on your phone. The most important thing, description, listing details are not shown by default. I have emailed, moaned, but as normal, sweet FA will be done. Looking forward to next update. Guys, we have talked about the eBay mobile app before. Sadly, a lot of people do use the eBay mobile app to make their purchases. I do not. I absolutely do not, for what the reasons he's saying. The description is not evident on the mobile app. Now, I know a lot of people do buy my items and return them for that reason, because they're buying on eBay mobile. Rarely do I buy on eBay mobile. The only time I will is if I see something hot and I put it in my watch list, all right? And I happen to be out on the road somewhere when the item is ending, but then I've already read the description, so eBay mobile will work in that case. But as a rule, no, I would shy away from it. Okay, that is all for last week's comments. Now let's move on. I want to talk about China sellers and a disturbing fact that has come to my attention. One of my eBay friends has sent me a link, and I will put the link in the description below, regarding the Alibaba Group and AliExpress. What happened is there's a case of a lady in New Jersey who was selling kids' clothes. I believe she even designed them. And she took a picture of her daughter wearing these kids' clothes, and they started selling really well. Soon after, she found somebody was using her kid, her daughter's picture with her clothes, selling the same thing, and it was from Alibaba, specifically the AliExpress group that targets US sellers. They stole her daughter's picture with her own design and they knocked it off. She wrote to them and asked them to stop, and of course she never heard back, and nothing will ever be done. Because stuff that's being done in China is basically untouchable. Sad to say, but true. We cannot do anything about people knocking off U.S. brands and selling them out of China. The only thing we can do, and I do it, don't buy from China sellers. That should be a new slogan that every one of you guys adopt. All right? I adopted it. I've never bought from China sellers, and I never will. That would almost be a good name for some kind of a website or a new movement. Don't buy from China sellers. I don't. Let us now segue to another new segment of my eBay video called the eBay Sellers Hall of Shame. Let us meet today's inductees. Okay guys, let me show you what I refer to as the eBay Motors spammer. There are a few sellers in eBay Motors that repeatedly spam eBay Motors with cheap China garbage. These are not China sellers per se. These are sellers that have a warehouse in the United States or some kind of a physical location, but they are importing all the cheap China crap and it's proliferating eBay. This particular seller, as you can see, is selling the same exact product repeatedly. I counted about 20 listings at least with the same exact picture, same item, same price. All he do is slightly alter the title. 4 new OEM silver 15-inch hubcaps. Fits Toyota Tercel Corolla center wheel covers set. Right below it, same exact thing. 4 new OEM silver 15-inch hubcaps. Fits Suzuki SUV car ABS center wheel covers set. And here it fits Volkswagen, Volkswagen Golf, Jetta, etc., etc. This is not the right way to do it. Secondly, he's not supposed to have an overlay that says USA seller over his picture. For one thing, it's against eBay rules. For a second thing, it actually throws off Google search. I am told that anybody that has an overlay like this will be kept out of Google search. That's what I've been told. Over here, if you want to know what this is, I crossed out this eBay username because my policy is not to out anybody on eBay. I am just doing these videos to show you what should not be done. Guys, it is so disheartening to go onto eBay Motors to search for a product and to be inundated with page after page of this garbage. And you cannot click on USA sellers only because it will not help filter out people like this that are buying containers of China merchandise and selling them from their location in the United States. Okay, next up we have this particular listing right here. Promoting website. Get on first page Google. You can see they have more than 10 available. They are asking $100 each with free shipping. Interesting pictures here. Let's take a look at the listing itself. It says, get on Google first page plus most major search engines for the next to nothing. Guaranteed to get over 1 million hits, views, and traffic to your website business. Promote anything online, now without paying Google outrageous pay-per-click fees. This is the website you will be on, advertisingworld.com. And look at this, a picture of all this money, which of course you're not getting. This is what is referred to as an intangible item. How could the person ever provide tracking information for this item? I am fairly certain this is against eBay rules. It is now time for a drink, because when I see those people in the Hall of Shame, I need a drink. Yeah. Okay, let's discuss them. In the first case I showed you what I call a spammer. A person who spams eBay Motors with cheap China crap. That particular seller is located in the United States, and he's buying containers of this China garbage and selling them and spamming eBay Motors. He's also committing another policy violation by using an overlay on his picture that says USA seller. That is against eBay rules, and believe it or not, that will actually take him out of Google search. Now, I showed you how he has the same picture of the same item repeatedly down the page with the same price. All he does is change what kind of car it fits. When I was out west last year, I spoke to the people at eBay Motors, and I showed them that exact example, only from another seller, not from that guy. And they looked at it and they said, Joe, this particular person is committing multiple policy violations. I said, okay, what are you going to do about it? And they said, well, we can't do anything. That's another department. But I'll text my friend over at whatever department, and I'll get this to her attention. This is something they really need to crack down on. I just don't know any other way. This is never going to stop unless eBay itself cracks down on spamming. I'm complaining about eBay Motors, but I'm sure some of you guys have seen it in your particular categories too. The spamming has got to stop. Like the person who commented earlier that I read, it discourages buying. It really does. I shop on eBay, and I love going onto eBay Motors looking for good buys so I can buy things and flip them for a big profit. A real big profit, and I'm good at it, and I do it. But I'm being met constantly with pages and pages of cheap China crap that is being sold by people in the United States with that overlay that says US seller, and eBay needs to crack down on that. And I swear to Christ on the cross, I will bring this up to them when I go out west later in the summer. But you know what? I am not hopeful. I wish there was something we could do, some ironclad thing we could do. In the second case I showed you the example of a seller who was selling what I would call an intangible good, a placement in Google search. I mean, come on. And those pictures of the currency, how many policy violations is that person racking up? Now, some of you are probably saying, well, Joe, click the report a buyer link below the listing and it will... No. I love eBay. I love selling on it. But I mean, I'm just really bummed out by some of these policy violations that I'm seeing. It's just crazy. But I want to thank you guys who send me these examples. The eBay Motors listing was one I found, but the other listing, the one about the placement in Google search, was found by one of you cool cats. So if you come across anything like that, please email it to me. I don't have my sign behind me because it would get all wet today. My email is crazynydriver@aol.com. crazynydriver@aol.com, and I'll be happy to look at every one of your cases, and if I think it's fitting for next week's Hall of Shame, I will be glad to share it with you good people. Quick rehash, because I don't want to get any wetter. Number one, thank you for all your comments on last week's video. They are really helpful. I love sharing them with you guys and getting your opinion and feedback. That is the most important thing. If we share and pool our comments and resources, we can make a change. Right now, I'm looking for changes as far as spamming is concerned. Not just in eBay Motors, but all of eBay. It's killing our sales, and it's driving potential buyers off the platform to another platform, and I don't ever want that to happen. So if you guys have any ideas or suggestions how we can stop the spamming and put these people in check, please let me know about it. If you have any comments about the China sellers and how they're stealing people's goods, knocking them off, using people's pictures and their own kids in them, it's disgusting what they're doing and getting away with it. Our government needs to crack down. But for right now, I'm worried about the China sellers on eBay. If you have any comments or suggestions for my 10-year video, which I'm hoping to do next month, comment below. Guys, it's been almost 10 years I've come out here every Friday and shared eBay experiences with you. I do this to try and help you guys be successful selling on eBay. I sure hope I'm helpful to you. If I am, please leave me a thumbs up. If you haven't found it helpful, tell me why in the comments below. Remember, I am a seller friend, not a seller critic, and not a skeptic of any kind. I will see you guys next week. I'm Crazy New York Driver. You're not. Thanks for watching. Rock on and peace! Even in the rain!